Good morning, guys. I have a bit of a sniffles, so don't mind me if I sniffle during this message. But this message is very important. I actually was woken up very early this morning to deliver this message to you guys. But I'm gonna ask you guys a question. Have you guys ever heard of the saying "being at the wrong place at the wrong time"? You ever watch things on the news and you hear about certain tragedies that happen, and then you hear about innocent bystanders, and you're like, oh my goodness, like these poor individuals, like they were at the wrong place at the wrong time, etc. Well, there's a scripture here that says, I'm going to get into the details just now. Proverbs 3 verse 5-6, trust the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways, submit to him and he will make your paths straight. Okay. See, when God makes your path straight, sometimes it's not always comfortable. It's not going to always feel comfortable. Sometimes it may hurt. Okay. Sometimes it may look outside. It's like, I don't know if you guys can see it. It's snow day today. Sometimes it's not comfortable at all. It can hurt. Okay. Well, I want you guys to understand that you were denied something. And it's not that you were denied because you didn't deserve it. It's not that you were denied because you're not going to get it later on. You were denied in that moment because the timing was bad, okay? Being at the wrong place at the wrong time. Do you see what I'm saying? You have to understand that 2 minutes can change our whole life. Okay, if God says don't get in that car and you get in that car, that can change your whole life. Do you see what I'm saying? So you were denied that. Specifically, I was hearing you got denied that visa because you would have been at the wrong place at the wrong time. Okay, it doesn't mean you're not going to get the visa. It doesn't mean that later on you won't get the visa. It doesn't mean that God doesn't want you to go to another country. Or God doesn't want you to live in another country. But the visa was denied because you would have been at the wrong place at the wrong time. Okay, and because you are seeking God, he's making your path straight. So you're not going to understand why you were denied in that moment. Okay, same thing with God was showing me something about relationships. How many of you guys were dating someone? How many of you males were dating a female, or how many of you females were dating a male, or you're in a relationship with someone and then this person leaves you for someone else, and the person they left you for is thinking this person's a whole prize? They're thinking they want a whole prize, and they may be rubbing it in like, oh, I took your man, or I took your woman, or I took the person you were dating, or you get what I'm saying? They would rub it in, like they would make it seem like this person that betrayed you was a whole prize, right? And turns out, you find out later on, when you start to see what this person that left you put the other party through, you're like, oh, I'm so glad this person took that person off my hands, because I didn't want to go through that. Lord, you saved me from going through that. Do you see what I'm saying? It's a situation where God is saying that relationship, you were denied that relationship because it wasn't for you. God knew what was going to happen, specifically health-wise. Okay, specifically health-wise. This is for someone. Specifically health-wise, God saved you from something health-wise. That's why that relationship was not approved from God. Okay, that's why you're able to see what that other person was going through, and you're like, wow, God protected me from that. Do you see what I'm saying? So like I said, yes, when God makes your path straight, it's not going to always be comfortable. You're going to feel uncomfortable sometimes, but you have to understand the damages are far worse had you been in that relationship, had you been in that country at the wrong time, had you been in that place at the wrong time, had you been at that job at the wrong time. God is very strategic when it comes to timing. Okay, he's very strategic when it comes to timing. And if you go against God's timing, things can fall apart. And that's what the Lord is trying to avoid. So in the moment, it may feel like the worst thing, but you can't lean on your own understanding, because what you don't understand is that there may have been something worse that could have happened that only God knows, that you don't know. And this is why he says, sometimes when I make your path straight, it's not up to you to question me as to why I did it. Sometimes I can't even show you why I did it in the moment. Sometimes I'm going to have to show you later on. Because if I would have told you in the moment, you would not understand. If I would have told you in the moment, you would not have accepted it. you would have still been upset. You would not have the understanding. It's later on when you're able to see physical proof. It's later on when you're able to see the damages that could have occurred in your own life, is when you actually understand why God did what he did. Okay, so this is for someone. You were denied for a reason. Lean not on your own understanding, okay? And when God makes your path straight, it's not always going to be comfortable. Now, if it's someone that you're supposed to be with, but it's not the right time, it's not the right time for a reason. Okay, it's not the right time for a reason. Some of you guys, you may end up wanting to be with someone so badly, and God says it's not the right time, and you're like, why, God? And not realizing that had you been with the person now, it wouldn't have worked out. If you continue to wait like God told you to wait, you would have a prosperous marriage, because that person would have went through what they had to go through. That person would have went through redemption. That person would have got to know you. That person would have got to know God, and you could actually get the marriage and the relationship that is promised to you, right? And it's the same thing with a job. It's the same thing with everything else, okay? So lean not on your own understanding, okay, guys? Love you. Bye.